Hey everybody, welcome to Losing Your Mind with Chris Cosentino. I am sitting here in Napa Valley, St Helena to be specific, with Hiro Sone and Lissa. And she's shaking her head. No, she's not here. She's a figment of my imagination as we speak. But welcome, Hiro. It's great to have you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course.
Yeah, and thank you for not coming late.
I was only 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Traffic stinks. So, Hiro,
Yes.
you and I have known each other for a long time, and I feel very fortunate to have had a
Me
very
too.
long-standing relationship. You have been nothing but an amazing mentor to so many young chefs.
No.
Yes, don't sell yourself short, ever. Yeah, talking to the microphone. Make it look like you have a big bozo nose. See, now you're really good. There we go. And I think one of the things for me that's always been really amazing is how you've inspired people, and you've done it in such a relaxed, confident way that people aren't afraid. And, you know, you've come from a time when training was very different.
That's right.
And
Very harsh.
very harsh. And you chose not to train that way. Yes, you would push and want people to get the best out of people, but you've always been this way in a very civilized, kind way. And I think that says a lot about changing prior to all these big conversations that everybody's been talking about now with being kind and being nice to their staff and the new movement. I mean, you were doing that. The new movement. Yeah. I mean, it's really, truly, it is a new movement. But you've been doing that for so many years. And you know, I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg of what, you know, I think you have to offer this audience is, you know, where you came from, what your training was like then, and how you transferred it into how you trained people now.
When I started, that was in Tokyo. Probably I was 18 years old. Yeah, just out from cooking school. And the first restaurant I worked for was Italian restaurant. Probably there's a tiny kitchen, but almost like 12 cooks packed in a small space. And chef was really tough. Of course, like all the cooks was so tough too. And they were so mean to me too.
And you were how old when you started there?
18, I think so.
So in that timeline, I mean, and I don't think people realize that Italian food and French food in Japan was so highly revered, and it was such a serious training program.
Yeah, almost like a really like military, worst case of military training. Yeah, and I was dishwasher for a little while. I did waiter too, same restaurant. Everybody get trained, start from front of the house. I think I like the idea because the cooks know what's customer want first, you know. Then you go to dish room, you kind of taste all left over, right? And you get to know the taste before you go into kitchen. So you work in a dish room, then you go to kitchen. But the kitchen first, you wash pots and pans,
Polishing copper.
yeah, coppers. But if chef making sauce, he notice little dirty, little black spot on the pot, he throw pans at me. Yeah, seriously.
Different time.
Oh yeah, that's a little by little. So step by step, finally you get to touch vegetable. Yeah.
How long did it take from, let's just to say you started in the front of the house, then you were dishwashing, to actually when you physically touched, not receiving something or putting something away, but like when you actually physically got to pick up a knife and work with a vegetable or work with something there?
Yeah, you know what? That was at the dishwasher time too, because in the dish room, there's a pocket of time between the lunch and dinner. Chef just bring a huge bag of tripe. It's here you can get the tripe already clean.
This was green tripe. So
in
you're
Japan,
talking about honeycomb tripe.
Honeycomb tripe or everything in it. You know that smell like?
Oh, I know what that smells like. If anybody knows, I know.
Yeah. So chef bring that and drop the bag in dish room. So I have a work table. I scrubbing tripe for hours to get the white, color you see in the United States if you're a tribe.
Well, what's interesting is we now in the US utilize bleach. Physically, what says on the bottle, Clorox, do not ingest, they use bleach to actually make the tripe white, whereas you were scrubbing it in basically you were scrubbing off a lining. The reason they call it green tripe is that the hay stains and makes it green. So you have to scrub that film off every little square.
Yep.
And that's no simple task because it's filled with sand.
Everything.
And you find in there, I'm sure you found like little pieces of barbed wire. You'd find metal. You find everything. That stomach is known as the nail stomach.
Yeah.
And it was the safety net before it got to the last stomach. It is the gnarliest thing. I mean,
in a small room, this room, it's a steaming.
It's already hot.
Small room, and at the corner, I have worked there cleaning that. It takes like 3-4 hours
every day.
Yeah. No, every day.
No, oh my God! Could you imagine? We would not have Hiro Sone now if he had to clean tripe every day in between the shifts.
But you know what? Chef was really tough. But then I started working in the kitchen. Actually, start making vegetable, whatever, and he taught me a lot. That's why I always keeping my tripe dish at the Terra. Now it's closed, but for the respect, because I have from a cleaning dishwasher day to I become sous chef at the same restaurant. So I have just for respect, I keeping the dish. Yeah,
that's amazing. I don't think people realize, and at our time during your time there in Japan, I've read stories that some people were had to do laundry and had to wash the napkins and the chef's chef coats prior to even being able to allow to wash dishes. And I think there's a disconnect between the time and energy and the work that you put in to get where you are now. I don't think people realize those histories. I think it's really important that people understand those histories of how the education was imprinted.
Yeah, I respect same time, just like at the beginning you say, why I don't do the same style of teaching, young people, I don't do. I think I cannot control myself if I lose it. I don't want to see myself, and then I cannot do anything. I think I know that. That's why I try to keep kind of always calm, try to, but my voice gonna be shaking.
We all know, we all know, Hiro, when something's wrong. I mean, I've done enough events with you and been around you at enough places where I can see when somebody's doing something wrong that bothers you, and it's apparent. It's facial expressions. It's the way you talk. It's your body language. I know you well enough to know that. Some other people may not even recognize that.
Oh, is that right?
So you were how long from when you started at this restaurant till you became a sous chef there?
I think 4 years I was there. Yeah.
Okay. So 4 years. And now I think that's a really important number there. You're at one restaurant for 4 years.
Yeah.
And you started as a front of the house and then went to washing dishes, then into the kitchen. Then as time progressed, you worked all the stations and became a sous chef. That is dedication and loyalty to the business, to that craft, to that chef.
Also, sometimes if older cook, he or she doesn't leave the restaurant, you don't go up, right?
Yeah.
So that's another, luckiness or whatever.
But also the fact that you stayed that restaurant for 4 years because that chef was continuously educating you, giving you the opportunity to see. And I think that's a really important thing that I like to reiterate there is like you were one place for 4 years.
I tell cooks too, why don't you stay a little longer? If she or he give me notice or something. If I see this person is already completed some kind of, education from us, completed, I will happy to, suggest somewhere to go too. But sometimes I see the young cooks doesn't get anything, but just want to move on. This person gonna be, if we doing same, this gonna end up in the next restaurant. He's gonna do same. Then next restaurant same, right? And at least you should be some like a sous chef class then you see the completely kind of what's going on in the restaurant, then move on to next one. And you can pick where you want to be. You want to start from beginning, you can do that. Or you can do sous chef job, you can do that too.
So you were at this restaurant for 4 years. Where did you go next?
I was working, same owner had a French restaurant. So sometimes
So you started Italian and then you went French.
Yeah. Sometimes work French restaurant weekend, I have to come back. Kind of situation. Interesting situation. Yeah.
Wow. And you were at the French restaurant for how long?
Oh, not quite long.
So
Almost like I was a helper, one extra helper.
oh, so you were the hired gun. That's what it was. You were like you were ace in the hole when somebody called out sick.
He doesn't say no.
He doesn't say no. See? But see that what you just said there, I think is a really something that just sticks in my head. Like you didn't say no. You saw it as an opportunity. Every chance that somebody asked you to do something, you saw it as a way to grow and learn, and you went for it.
Also need money.
Of course, there's a balance. There's both.
Yeah.
But also you see it as I'm going to learn something. I'm going to do more. And so how did you get from the Italian to the French? So when did the Wolfgang restaurant come into effect? Like, how did you connect with Wolfgang? Where did you kind of go from there? And how did the pieces start to get you here to Napa?
The interesting thing was the Italian restaurant I worked for. There was a captain in the front of the house. He moved on and he started working in a company who bring American idea to Japan and open the kind of same type. He has like what's it called, Hard Rock Cafe, some like a fast food chain. But the friend of mine already working for it, he called me and hey, they're looking for chefs. They're gonna open 2 restaurants from United States. So I went to interview. So president asked me at the interview, so we're gonna open a restaurant called Hard Rock Cafe and the Spago. Which one you wanna be chef at? They asked me.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So
Hard Rock Cafe. So it could have been Hard Rock Cafe or Spago. And what made you choose Spago?
So I didn't know anything about Spago. That was 1982, I think. Just to open, they just opened. But these people knew already. It was kind of scary, but anyway. So I didn't know. But the Hard Rock Cafe, I used to play hard rock music when I was in high school.
I know you play. I see you playing guitar all the time now.
So like, oh yeah, that sounds like a fun. But I asked what kind of food they're making. They didn't have a connection with me. Then they explained what Spago is, and then first time I heard was Chef Wolfgang Park, and he used to work a Michelin 3-star restaurant in France, couple of places. Then I had a connection, like, oh, maybe same food we do here. So that was it. So kind of strange,
which is an amazing. To me, that's completely amazing. So, where would you care to be the chef at? Hard Rock Cafe or Spago? Nowadays, I mean,
that was a question, man.
That's an amazing question. Like,
yeah,
I'm glad that Spago was the decision because so many amazing things happened.
Yeah, you know what? I went to Hard Rock Cafe after I got job at the Spago.
Yeah,
because there was a Hard Rock Cafe really close to Spago.
Was it good?
Welcome. This is Spago. Hey, there's a nice guitar. A lot of guitar display. that was it. And Chris, I really didn't know what's American people eating. I really thought hamburger and hot dog is what people eat here.
But at that time, yes, most people were just eating hamburgers and hot dogs.
I really.
And what year was this?
83, I can.
83.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's pretty amazing. Mm-hmm. If you think about it, like, okay, here's your choice. Hard Rock or Spago. So you met Lisa at Spago. Was that at Spago in Tokyo or?
No, Los Angeles. I came to, they sent for training. Also spying, basically. Get everything, what kind of flour they use, what kind of butter they use, what kind of goat cheese you use, kind of thing.
So basically,
I was
they
almost like a
franchised
spy.
they franchised Spago in Tokyo, and they really were like, okay,
And
you're going to be the
the
chef.
deal was not clear like that. I think they went to see Wolfgang, but they say basically, they're gonna be with us or without us, but we're gonna open anyway, kind of deal.
Wow.
Then Wolfgang come on board too, so then become
Real.
real.
So you went to LA to
And,
train.
sent for 2 months training. Yeah, and I met Nessa. She was pastry assistant under Nancy Silverstone.
Wow.
Yeah. So there was 4 ladies was making pastry. They produced like 15 different cakes, 20 different cakes every day.
And how many? So Spago, when you're talking in '83 here, so you're talking that place was busy.
Busy.
People don't realize
350 cover every night. Weekend 400, over 400.
And lunch, you were doing lunch service. No lunch then.
Just dinner.
Just dinner. So,
Yeah.
but that into itself is a big number for the quality and caliber of food that was being done
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
It was all or nothing with Wolfgang. I mean, he took it as highbrow as it could be. I mean, you have so many things that have come out of that restaurant, the smoked salmon and caviar pizza. I mean, all those things that people, I don't think, realize how he really reshaped California cuisine.
Ingredients was amazing. Every day we get, and that's something I never seen before. Just arrived to the back door. Was like, wow! Like the first time I saw it's a golden raspberry. Yeah.
It's amazing to think because Japan was known for its so unique, high quality produce as well as fish. So to hear you say that you hadn't seen golden raspberries, yet there's square watermelons in Japan is a big.
Hey, that time nobody has golden raspberry, Chris.
No,
Nobody. Only
So-
Spago get.
So was it that just 4 flats a year? So were people just showing up at the back door with stuff? New
Also,
farmers every day?
No.
Or was it just the same slew of people that were coming in and bringing?
Yeah, that was an amazing time. Also we got to pick up a vegetable at the Chino farm in
Mhm.
San Diego, and Chino, actually one of the Chino family members started driving for us, so like they bring a vegetable to us from San Diego. Not every day, but
But still, that's a commitment.
yeah.
That
That time only like Japanese and us at the spa was using their vegetable. Yeah.
That's and so just to kind of give everybody an idea, who else was in the kitchen with you at that time?
That time, who was there? I don't know. Joe Manzari.
Joseph Manzari.
Of course. I almost forgot Joe.
Okay, and you had Nancy Silverton.
Nancy Silverton.
Okay.
And Jim Neo. I don't know. He was one of the cook at the Spago, and he came basically with me to open Terra. He was first chef of Terra.
So you were in Spago for 2.5, 3 months. You went back to Japan to open Spago in Japan.
Yeah.
And how long was that open for? Or how long were you there
I
for?
was there open in May 1983. Then I think next following year, I left in October maybe. Yeah.
And where'd you go?
Come to Spago.
Oh,
Yeah.
you chased her.
Who are you pointing at?
I'm pointing at Lisa.
That's right. That's right. So I got the job at the Spago, Los Angeles, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
So I met the Joe. And David Gingras and Annie Gingras, they're a couple. Same time I was there, and they opened a studio.
Yeah, I mean, this just kind of goes to show you, like, what came out of that era and that time, a collective of people, was very, very influential across the board.
Now it's huge, so I don't know most of the people.
No?
No, but it's amazing stuff. Was last year or a few months ago, we went to Spago for special, just listen me, special occasion, dinner. Oh my God. All the busser, waiters,
Still there.
still there, they come to us on the table, one by one, come to say hello.
That's amazing.
Amazing. Like more than 32 years ago.
Well, that just says a lot about, Wolfgang and his organization and his staff, and people are there because they believe in him.
Yeah.
And he treats them well, and that's a powerful thing.
Yep. I know. That was amazing.
Wow.
Almost I cry.
Well, I mean, it says a lot. It says a lot.
But funny one was like Basa, when I was there. Now he's become older. Then now Sign's working as a waiter kind of situation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, family working.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you went to Spago, LA, you were there, and then what was next from that?
After that, we found the Terra here in St Helena. Yeah, that was 1988. So we already started looking for our restaurant in Los Angeles. We saw a couple of places, just didn't click. So one of the Lisa's father called. There's a restaurant for sale, so we came to see from Los Angeles. Then I called from here, Wolfgang. I'm gonna quit.
Oh, I'm sure that went over like a fart in church.
It was okay.
He was okay with
he
it?
said, yeah, give me 2 months. That's he said.
That's fair.
Yeah. So 2 months I worked. And Lisa came here before I moved to here because we bought restaurant already. So
you bought the restaurant and then called to say you quit? That's putting the cart before the horse a little bit.
No. I say I'm going to quit. Then we bought a restaurant.
This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But hey, so when you purchased Terra,
yeah.
what was here then?
Look, see. Oh, here you mean?
No,
Yeah.
what was in the valley?
Oh, okay. What's the Cindy's mustards? Meadow was there. Or Trevina
Was Live Fire still here?
Live Fire?
Live Fire up the way? Fred Halpern's old place? No. See, can you believe I remember that one? He was later.
But
But-
Caristoga, there was a
Catahoula.
Carafra was not here.
He wasn't even here yet. So
No.
you're talking, what year is this now?
88.
88.
Yeah.
So there's pretty slim pickings up here to go out to eat.
So mustards, Trevina,
The ones that everybody knows.
Young
Mustards,
Bill.
Trevinia.
Yountville, there was something. Piatti was here. Oh, you remember? That's right. We went to
So
dinner.
it was really slim pickings restaurant-wise up here back then.
French Laundry was here, but the different owner.
Different owner. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
original owners. It wasn't TK.
Sally Schmidt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
she
that's
was there, and we really liked the French Laundry, so we used to go. Yeah, that was a great meal. Every time we get that.
I've never been there prior. I've only been to French Laundry once.
Well, sometimes we can request too. We really like oxtail, so she makes oxtail. So entire dining room gonna eating oxtail because we requested.
Oh, because that back then it was a one entree. It was a prefix.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah. And sometimes we can store garden each course between each course. So appetizer finish, people go out and some people smoke and come back for next course. Very casual. Yeah, almost like somebody's home.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So when you opened, this was what, 2 months later, 3 months later after you acquired the space?
November 1st. November 1st, I remember I moved it. Yeah. Lisa came here, already operated. And she have to be sometime in Los Angeles doing catering. we ask, do you know Barbara Naya Vineyard, Bruce Naya?
Oh, I know the name. I've never
She
met.
was doing managing at the Japanese as well. So she was not working, so we asked her to manage the Terra for very beginning until we moved to
Wow.
Valley. Yeah. Then actually I cooked. I just took over, so menu I just kept it same menu. Also, we didn't have a name Terra.
What was the name?
It's called Duckworth.
So the original was Duckworth.
Duckworth. And the people from Texas, all group from Texas opened this restaurant, American restaurant. But they came May of 1988, and they closed like a September. Oh no, they open. Yeah, they open. But the chef, he lost a son or daughter, and he stopped working. So
Wow.
yeah.
So then how did the name Terra come to be?
Terra, because of a stone building, something like a stone, dirt, kind of image. Then we checked the number of name and something, a stone bridge, stone something. There was a hookah house was existing here, 1890 or something. That we can use that name kind of thing.
Well, that's kind of funny. You could use it now. You probably could back then. Everybody was like, no, we're not stepping into a place that's a whorehouse.
Yeah.
That was a whore. That's amazing.
Yeah, whorehouse here. Actually, it's on a bridge. There's what's it called?
A plaque
Yeah.
that tells you the story.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
You
amazing.
can take a look. So I don't remember. Then I thought there was a Japanese cartoon animation.
Okay.
It's called Uchu Senkai Yamato. Maybe you don't know that.
I probably don't know that.
Almost
My
like
Japanese is really not
yeah.
that strong right now. I've been working on it diligently.
It's basically the idea of like a Star Trek. It's a spaceship, look like a warship. It's called Yamato. It's the biggest warship Japanese made it for World War II. Name after that. But it's a spaceship. But there's something always going on. But whenever come back to Earth, they call, instead of, in Japanese it's called Chikyu. Instead of they say Chikyu, means Earth, they call Terra.
Which is, if anybody watches sci-fi, it's in Battlestar Galactica. It's in every major sci-fi film. They call it Terra. Who would have ever thought that you were a sci-fi nerd?
Or animation.
Or, well, a manga. I mean, everybody loves manga stuff. Has always been
So
great.
I thought it's a fit, like what are we gonna do? Because we didn't categorize cuisine. It's really nowadays everybody, but we don't want to be a French, or we don't want to be Italian, we don't want to be a Japanese. Whatever come out from my head, we're gonna serve, and if we like it, serve. So that was the idea, and everything we don't have to limit. Have to come from Napa? No, we can use anything we want. Of course, local farmer is great, but don't limit. That was my idea. So all recipe too. Any recipe you want on earth, you can use it. That was the idea of Terra too. So Terra, whole thing,
That's amazing. I mean, you set a precedent up here, and I think for so many, I off the top of my head, so many of your staff that went through you, I know, and they're extremely talented and so well versed and just really great people and have run beautiful businesses and do great things. And it's so amazing the stories that all of them tell about working there, like really fun, and that's the part that kept me always kept me saying, man, they're just always having fun there. And every time we would do an event, you would push the limits. Like, I think the first time I ever did a big event, I was the sous chef for someone else, but you had set up this gigantic noodle setup.
Oh my God.
I'll never forget that. And I was like, okay, that's how you go and do a fucking event. It's not like, okay, I'm just going to go and I'm going to sandbag it, which, let's be honest, how many people go and sandbag events? Pretty much majority, right? They go and they do all right, they tell us to prep 1,000. We're doing 500. right? They always do that. It's like something on a little, it's like a crouton, and it's like, no, you show up with this monster contraption. It was amazing, and there's like noodles sliding down in the bowl, and I was just like, that's how you do an event.
Thank you, Chris.
And that was, and I'm no bullshit. That was for me the precedent that I based every event that I did moving forward when I took over at Encanto, because people are going there to see you. They're going there to be a part of something.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just going there to get a nibble and walk away. They want experience in a show. So you took your experience of the restaurant and brought it to them at Fort Mason or wherever we were doing events.
We took to Hawaii too. We took to Hawaii. We took it to Cleveland.
I mean, it was amazing.
Los Angeles too.
I'll never forget that. It was like, holy shit, this is insane. It's genius. And you had a line beyond because everybody wanted to be a part of it. And I think you gave them a bigger experience than just a quick bite of food. And to me, that's what we are. We are taste givers. We give taste memories, and we're given an experience.
Yeah.
And it's more than just going and, putting out a few bites and going to have a bunch of drinks. It's really about full experience.
Great to see, the chef like to see customer laughing or smiling or liking whatever you did. That's our goal, right?
That's
why we do.
It's the instant gratification that we can't, we don't really have much patience. Let's be honest, right? You've gotten more patience over time. I have not. I think I've gotten a little better, but I think that there's something to be said for that. We want to see that smile. We want to see that guest recollection of like that moment when that taste memory happens and they just do the, and you see it in their eyes and the expression on their face. It's magic.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
Nothing replaceable.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
We give up so much to see somebody else smile.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's something to be said for that. I mean, and when we do that, I feel that it's enriching their soul is just as much as it's enriching ours.
Sometimes in a restaurant business doing, we learned successfully 30 years. Unfortunately, we closed last year. But sometimes you really bottom, feel like your refrigerator broken, weekend.
Isn't that every day? It's every day. There's something. HVAC broke.
Is not working, whatever, and stuff didn't show up. But, I always make between business hours, I go through the restaurant, bar, dining room, come back to kitchen, go back again. Then I can hear what they're talking about, food or something. Just one customer give me like a positive, look, then I'm okay that day, That much affect me, how customer react.
I mean, it's affirmation for the hard work, but also I think it's you're a part. You become part of their life, whether it's a wedding, an anniversary.
Yeah,
I hate to say it. Yeah. Sometimes people come and for a funeral, as in memory of someone, but it's very important that those be positive.
Yeah,
and as like you're going to have people that come back, and I'm sure you did. 30 years. How many people came back for that anniversary over and over again?
A long time ago.
This was my first date.
Yeah,
this
exactly,
restaurant.
That corner.
Yeah, and they remember it to the T.
Yeah,
that's powerful.
And sometimes we remember picture memory something. Oh yeah, you sat table 23, kind of 18 years later or something. Somehow we remember. It's kind of scary thing.
Well, yeah, considering that you definitely didn't have open table back that many years ago, and it was all in the red book, right? We would take all our notes.
I remember you order. It came for first course, kind of thing.
Yeah,
you didn't know that's sweet wine. I remember that.
But okay, what made you happy and you smiled? So, over that 30 years, you affected so many people in the valley. You affected chefs all around the globe. I mean, you guys traveled. The two of you have traveled so much and brought so much influence into the Bay Area that I think, I don't even think people realize you've introduced so many people to Japanese cuisine. You know, how many people have you taken to Japan and shown Japan? It's like I went with Stefan, and you know, like Stefan went with you, and you know, like knowing show and you know, like that world that you brought has been such a big, huge breath of fresh air and something new. And when I started in this city, I looked to Terra. I looked up to what you guys were doing constantly. Because for me, it was like, okay, that's rad. That building's gorgeous. Mm-hmm. The space that they're in, the feeling and vibe that it gives. I mean, you really inspired, you know? And I hope that you know that there's so many people out there that feel that way. Not enough people tell you. Mm-hmm. And I hear about it all the time about both of you. You know, I think that's...
Hey, you make me cry.
Oh, come on now. It's called honesty. And I think that's... People don't realize you guys, in my mind, my honest opinion, you guys were the first up here to really slam it out of the park. No, in my mind, yes.
No, for me, every generation, somebody else before.
Of course. But for my generations,
easier for us.
For me, that you guys were it. Okay. You guys were it. You guys were the ones who grand slammed it up here, who really made everybody want to come. You made that feeling of joy and that excitement and made what a lot of people thought of fine dining in Napa comfortable and cash. Because like you embrace technique, you and Lissa, just really the two of you together between the front of the house and the pastry and the techniques that were going on there, nobody felt like it was stuffy. Nobody felt like they couldn't come in jeans. Right?
But we used to have a sign, no shorts.
Well, that's okay. I get no shorts. Right? No shoes, no shorts, no service, right? That was your sign.
No, that was a tricky one too. One lady showed up with, looked like a skirt from front. And she passed me and, oh my God, it's pants from back, short pants from back. Like, what kind of...
What were you going to do, kick her out? But you were talking, you didn't want people in like surf trunks and, you know, and that's fair. I think that's fair...
Actually, Lisa didn't like biking shorts.
Well, who wants to sit in bike diapers for, I mean, come on.
But
cycling shorts. Okay, I'm a cyclist and I wear those. But there's no way after a bike ride I want to hang out in those. It's like wearing Depends. You're basically wearing an adult diaper to sit down for dinner service. No, thank you. Like, hey, I'm going to sit through a really beautiful 3-course, 4-course meal wearing my bike shorts. No, thanks. It's not comfortable in any way, shape, or form.
With the shoes, too.
With the click-clack shoes. No, it's not happening. It's not happening.
Slide in the bathroom.
So in that 30 years, what highlights, like your big highlights and, you know, do you have any regrets of being open for 30 years?
Regrets? No. You know what? It's a get to know people is, for me, it's great thing. Even cooks, new dishwasher, waiters, you know, everybody. Meeting people is great for me. So plus, you know, you get to know customer and then you become kind of get to know all other chefs. So they invite us to cook in different locations. So many places we went because of, you know, they invite us to cook. That's a great experience because once you own your place where you can study, book, you eating around, where you can see the other people's kitchen. That was the only chance. And you get a lot of good ideas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My God, this way. Like,
you do that?
I didn't think about that.
The light bulb goes on.
Yeah.
Man, that's a good way to store that. I never thought about that.
I know exactly. So that way, it's great things. You can go stage. You know, you can, but I didn't.
That's kind of weird. It is. I mean, I've done it. Did you?
Oh yeah, I went to Italy. The stage too. 2 days. 2 days of stage doesn't count.
Yeah, but currently now kids put it on their resume for 3 hours.
Oh, yeah.
So let's just, so 2 days, that's a lifetime in this year. So what what is the fondest memory that you have of being in Terra?
Memory, huh?
Like one of those moments that will always be that.
What'd you say?
It's okay. This is the fun part about this because I don't edit. Like
one of the funnest memories that you guys came. When we closed, you guys came. You came. Chris came, and all cooks used to work for us came.
That night was
And,
actually pretty amazing. How many were
waiter
in the dining room?
Used to work for us came to help, and that was almost like a great moment too. Yeah.
That was an awesome night. I mean, there were so many great people. Like I said, you guys set a precedent. You really did. And I think it shows. It really shows. It shows in all the people that worked for you. Mm-hmm. It shows in how they are doing. And you created legacies with this next generation.
I remember funnest memory, not funnest. I remember crazy, kind of scary moment was like when I was still Sparrow, and Lisa is here. And every night we took so how many we did tonight? Okay, 120. And the one night, like Saturday, like October 31st or something, October 30 or something, she said we did 180. Like, what? 180? I was still at Sparrow, but the chef here, sous chef basically did it, and you guys did 180. So I moved. Like I was like, I got 180 every night, kind of thing. Then we did like 3 people next day or something like that.
Yeah, but it was Halloween.
Scary.
That scared you, Chris. But you didn't think in your mind, okay, October 30th, 180. October 31st, everybody's dressed up for Halloween. They're not coming in.
Also, the February.
There's the winter wall.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's true. And that was your first, was this your first winter here?
Oh, yeah. First winter, also the Valentine's Day. Night before, I think 13th, we did 2 covers. Only 2 covers we did.
Okay.
Next day, we did 140 covers. You know how hard is that one?
Oh, yeah. How many of you were in the kitchen?
Was really hard, right? You know that.
Oh, it's horrible. You have to have a constant to keep everybody in the right mindset. So it's like, I can see it now. It's like, da, 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 da. I'm not gonna fly. Nope, not gonna do it. And then you like throw them off the Empire State Building. It's like, go, you're flying right now.
Yeah, I know.
That's inevitable. What this business is like.
It's funny, we never did 0. Yeah, lowest is 2.
Lowest is 2. Never did 0. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
So, kind of, you have now. I can think Greg Dunmore.
Yeah.
Okay, and Greg Denton,
Mm-hmm.
Gabby.
Mm-hmm.
Who else?
We had chef. Used to be our chef. Went the East Coast. Oh, you don't know him, Chris Bardington. Yeah, and Chris Schremer also was chef cuisine at the Terra. Went Copenhagen, opened the restaurant called Best, BEA.
Oh, I know that one. Yeah,
and
yeah.
now he's back to United States. He opened his own place in upstate New York. Who else? And then we had Andrew. Was a sous chef at the Terra. He opened his own place in Philadelphia. Actually, he just closed, I think. Like that.
There's more. I know there is. It's just a lot to remember all at once, especially when they throw it at you.
Oh,
so,
yeah. And the Tracy was a chef of kebabery.
And also
Camino.
And John is at what's the Busqueteria
Mm-hmm.
truck.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a chef there.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
So now, you guys have retired. You said it. See, and I'm looking at Lisa with a big 0 hand at me. Normally, I'm used to people throwing this finger at me, but she's doing the big 0 sign. So, but you guys have been doing some amazing traveling. You got a puppy.
Yeah.
You're playing guitar like you're Bob Dylan over here. Eric Clapton. Sorry, I got the wrong one there.
Jimmy Page.
Jimmy Page. Oh my God, this is priceless. Give him a corner. Yeah, we'll hire you.
Microphone. Maybe I should play guitar.
Yeah. So, So you guys have been everywhere. I mean, you've been to Australia. You went to Turkey. You went Armenia, Georgia. Where else?
Then we went to Italy, Sardinia. First time visit Sardinia. Then Florence. There was Nancy's birthday.
I saw that. I saw pictures. See, that's what's funny. It's like I know where you guys are because like we're all on this. Everybody's on the social media platform. You can't even go anywhere nowadays without anybody.
I think maybe I should change it to my private account.
Private account? Well, it's kind of good. Somebody was saying the other day to me, they're like, "Do you really put where you are all the time? Because don't you think a criminal one day is going to break in your house when you're gone? Because you put a picture up of it?
No.
We don't know.
But that's a valid point, right?
Yeah.
It makes you think. It's like, but also we're now in a world where if you don't put a picture up on Instagram, it didn't happen. And I'm just as guilty, right? Like, come on, I was just away for a vacation for 7 days in Montreal. And it's like, people are like, you went to Montreal? I don't believe you. I didn't see a picture. I was like, well, I have the receipts and I got a plane ticket. Does that count? No, there was no photo.
We almost go same place, right? She take a picture. I take a picture. And if I post before her, she got kind of
That's amazing.
So instead of putting picture in the Instagram in the bedroom, I go to the bathroom and really fast.
You guys trying to beat each other to the post. That's priceless. So on all these cool trips, what has been your favorite trip? What has been something that's like totally shocked you? Like you've been seeing all these foods and all these pictures you've been putting up. I think the cool ones, not that none of them were cool, but like the ones that really were Turkey looked really interesting to me. The food looked really cool. Something completely new to me.
Armenia, the bread making. I happily.
He did post a lot of pictures of bread. I watched
the bread very much, but we spotted a couple of places like a handmade bread. It's so beautiful. Just watching. I bet they're doing a number of years there. So smooth, just perfect color, and it's amazing to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine making bread over there. Like cooking in a tandoor scares the daylights out of me.
Yeah, you're gonna lose. Oh, you don't have hair.
I don't know. I'm kind of like, yeah. I mean, see,
It's hot. I put my hand in there. It's
hot.
Hot, really hot.
I got a little hair. Come on, what are you trying to say? I'm not a hairless cat. That's not nice.
No, like Jack Pepper.
Oh, leave. Oh my God.
Oh, sorry, Jack.
So what's next? Like, what are you guys up to? What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
What do you want to do?
Give me the job.
Give you a job. Oh my God, you don't want a job. Are you having fun?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. It's so funny because restaurant business, usually you have to be at the restaurant weekend for sure, right? Or event you do somewhere outside, but you come back for weekend. Make sure you're going to be working there or something like that. Also, we used to close only Tuesday. Then we decided to close Tuesday and Wednesday. We had 2 days, but always Tuesday, Wednesday. Something like a concert come in. Usually weekend. I don't know why they play in the weekend. So we never watch concert or anything. Now Friday, Saturday, let's go to see concert.
Good.
Sunday concert.
So there is really a world outside of the restaurant industry.
Exactly.
I hear it's pretty fun. We're all getting better, I think.
Also that we at the place, 10 more years pass, then sometime maybe your leg is not moving like do right now, or eyesight will be not like right now. So that's my idea too. Also, let's let's see what's going on all over the world to see, maybe 10 years later we cannot do it.
That's when then you open a restaurant and delegate again, right? Then it becomes the delegation system, or
You just use a finger.
or it's a counter, or you do the traditional Japanese counter
Or
restaurant.
like just one menu.
One menu,
One menu.
2 cooks, 1 dishwasher.
I mean, no one menu, one dish. Just one dish. Okay, I'm going to cook this dish Friday, 6 o'clock. Okay, how many people want to come? Kind of thing.
That would be cool. I would do that.
And you can do pickup too,
That would be fun. When you go to Japan, here's my okay. So you're from where in Japan?
Miyagi. It's,
Prefecture.
Prefecture. You went there, right?
Uh,
Miyagi?
it's close to Sendai,
Yeah,
right?
Sendai.
Yeah. So I went with Sho
Yeah.
and Stefan.
Yep.
Absolutely.
The tsunami
beautiful.
site you saw. That's I came from. Sho and I came from Miyagi Prefecture. Yeah.
So when you go back to Japan,
Yeah.
what is your thing you crave the most? What is the thing that you get off the plane?
Oh yeah. First thing I do.
Yeah.
So we take a train called Narita Express. So that's between Narita Airport and Tokyo. Takes about like a 55-minute express train. But the first thing I do is buy Japanese beer.
Why?
American.
Which one?
Usually Kirin or Sapporo is available on the train. So whatever Kirin was. My father used to drink Kirin, so I got to know the beer, that taste, right? I still remember.
Oh,
And
when you were
it's
sneaking them
it's-
when you were a little kid?
It's different. Even Kirin is available here. It's not made in Japan.
So it's
Or
different
Sapporo
flavor
is not
profile.
made in Japan. It tastes different. So that's why every time I go to Japan, first thing is like, buy the canned beer, drink. Then like, oh, I'm in Japan.
I love
I
that.
relax a little bit.
We took that same train when we landed in
Narita?
Japan. Yeah, we took
Uh-huh.
the Narita Express, and the first thing I did was order off the cart.
Oh, you did? What did you
Because
order?
a katsu sando.
Katsando.
Katsu
Yeah.
sando.
Yeah.
And it was so like you hear all these stories about like the train food and the fast food in the market, like the little convenience store.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, it's no joke. Like people don't realize how rad it really is. Like David Chang did that whole feature on it. Like what is it? And Tony did it.
Yeah,
Tony did
Tony
it.
did too.
It was, what the heck was the place called?
Lawson.
Lawson's. I was
Yeah.
going to say Lowry's, like the seasoning salt. I went there because
Japanese people say Lawson.
only, I'm not saying that. But I thought it was, I kept hearing all these things. I'm like, no, it can't be that good. It can't be that good. And I'm like, okay, I'm wrong. It's really good.
And small store, but they have everything,
Oh,
not just food.
well,
Maybe you could buy the things for your son there too.
Oh yeah, you can buy all sorts of things there. But the other thing that was cool was the what's up with the vending machines? You know what? I'm gonna have a hot coffee, and it comes out in a can hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I get a bottle of scotch? Can I
Yeah.
get a bottle of, and ironically, always the coffee is like some famous American actor's got his face on it
the
too,
picture.
which is so. What is up with that? Like the what? Oh, it is always sweet. It's either sweet black, sweet with
It's
cream.
funny. It's famous people like movie star.
Movie
Usually
stars.
don't do commercial here, but if you go to
Japan.
Japan or somewhere,
Yeah, for a good time, make it a Suntory time.
sorry.
Who was it? What was the guy's name? He
American
was
guy.
American guy who was in Men in Black. I have pictures of it. I can totally see it.
Oh,
It wasn't Will Smith. It was the other guy.
Yeah, he's in the commercial. I mean,
Oh.
coffee.
Coffee. He was
Yes.
he was all over the coffee. I remember that. But it's like, but it's so. The thing that interested me most and what blew me away was the commitment to a type of cuisine from generation to generation to generation, right? My great grandfather made soba, and then my grandfather,
Mhm.
and it just kept going through, and and the goal to reach perfection that can never be reached.
It's yes, almost like a craftsmanship,
Yes.
and knife making, soba making,
Tofu,
pottery,
pottery.
everything.
All
They do one thing really well. So they don't do the whole different genre. They do one thing just to make it soba. You find out they have a soba restaurant just serve soba, right?
Yeah.
The ramen place is ramen, and the eel place is only eel.
Oh, I love that.
Chicken place is only chicken.
So when you came here,
Mhm.
was that transition for you like, whoa, what the hell's going on? This like, look, I can go to one restaurant and get my eel, and then I'll go to the other restaurant over there and get a katsu, and then go to here and get ramen. And then you come to the States and it's like, well, you can have all of this in one dining room because the guy in the kitchen really has no idea what he's doing. He's guessing. Like, how did that feel for you coming from growing up with that? Like that individualism and that craftsmanship to coming to a place where in the US, when you went to a Japanese restaurant, they had everything.
Yeah, but you have to fulfill, something you don't have. You miss so much.
Yeah.
So you find out what you can order from this restaurant, kind of deal.
Oh, so you would seek out the one thing that was really good and then go find the other place that had the other thing that you wanted. That's hysterical. I love that. That's genius.
Thank you.
That's actually really smart.
You find out right now.
That's
I thought
oh,
you
come
knew
on,
already.
Toby. So, okay, I do some pretty standard questions that I do for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, red or white wine?
White.
You like white? Okay. Beer or tequila?
Tequila, definitely. Make me happy.
I know, I've seen you. Sake or soju?
Soju, I guess. You know why?
Why?
It's doesn't change the sugar in the body.
Oh, so what you're saying is there's no hangover?
No, I just be careful. I don't want to get like diabetes.
Oh, so okay.
My age. I love sake. Yes. But now I have to drink. In Japan, it's called oji-san drink. Oji-san is like old people.
Okay, so everybody, welcome to the geriatric section of our drinking menu, and today we have
shochu.
Soju. Okay, nigiri or sashimi?
Oh man, you have to have both.
Both. Caviar uni. The look on Lissa's face right now is priceless. I'm getting death eyes over there.
Why do we have to pick? Why we put the caviar on the uni?
Wow. You're greedy. Beef or pork? It's just preference. I'm just asking.
Pork.
Pork. Me too. Actually, I like a lot of both lately.
Yeah, I like both.
I like both.
Yeah.
Ramen or soba?
Gosh, Chris.
I know, man. I put it.
I was like crazy for ramen. Long time. Every place I go, I had to try a ramen. But another health issue,
So I have a question. What do you think? Ramen in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
is very different the way it's consumed and thought about comparative to when you're in Japan. When
Consume.
Meaning the way people eat it. People go out for ramen
Mm-hmm.
and they turn it into a long, extensive meal. Whereas you go to Japan, you got 15 minutes, and the guy, if you don't eat it in 15 minutes, if you talk, he tells you to pound sand and get out of the restaurant, right?
We had a big fight between Lisa and me. Like early day, we are visiting Osaka, and I always come up like, what are we gonna eat for lunch or dinner or something? Then time is clicking, right? Like dinner time. Like, oh my god, we have to make a decision. What are we gonna do? I said, how about the ramen? I said, that's not the meal. That's a snack.
It is a snack. I agree.
But
I
no, in Japan, that's meal. It's
yes,
a meal.
but it's a meal, but
Yeah.
it's also treated differently.
Uh-huh.
I feel that there's a difference to the service,
Mhm.
right? There's the vending machine where you get your ticket for the beer.
Mhm.
There's the ticket for your ramen, the add an egg or
Yeah.
add, right?
Mhm.
And then you hand it to the guy over the counter who's wearing a dish towel on the top of his head in the big hot kitchen. He then hands you your bowl.
Yeah.
You have to serve yourself water. If you want more beer, you have to go get another ticket.
Mhm.
And you
That's right.
come back and you
Mhm.
hand him the ticket.
Mhm.
But it's not like you can stop eating and look over and like have like a 20-minute conversation with anybody because you'll be told to leave. Right?
Especially, I almost said wrong stuff.
But I think it's interesting. It's so interesting that the difference between how it's perceived in the US comparative to it's considered truly like fast food.
Mm.
Like not just fast food as like go and get a hamburger, like that kind of fast food, like fast food, eat it quickly and go. Whereas like having soba is different. That's a much more civilized experience.
It's interesting. I to hear from you.
That's how I
you
experienced it.
experienced it.
That's very much how I experienced
Yeah.
it when I was curious as to, do you agree with that or am I crazy?
Yeah, I can see that side too. But the soba is another place. Is like, do you know tachigui? There's so many category
not.
of restaurant. Like, doesn't have seats.
It's a stand-up.
Stand up.
I like stand-up
Yeah,
comedies.
like a soba.
I've never
Tachigui.
seen that style. All the style I've ever
Uh-huh.
seen was a sit-down.
Mhm.
Actually, the best, the most beautiful soba experience was at Hitachino Brewery, where they ground,
Yeah.
made the soba, and we had the big dumpling, and
Yeah.
then we had the noodles after, and it
Uh-huh.
was such a cool experience because it was the pace was different. Not that, trust me, don't get me wrong, I loved my ramen paces when I was there because
Uh-huh.
I did fatty ramen and I did tsukune and I did everything. But I'm just curious as to your opinion on it because growing up there and coming here and the massive influx of ramen and noodles and the love of noodles now in the US, the perception is very different between the experience between the two. Because I think when people go to Japan to get ramen, it's an eye opener. I love it. I mean, perfect example was Ivan, and when he opened.
So tachigui place, I was going to tell you, it was no seat. So it's eat, get out. Probably you order and soba noodle front of you in not even 1 minute. So then you eat soba noodle probably in 3 minutes. So 5 minutes is a turning time. One person come in, usually doesn't have so many standing place, maybe maximum 10. You just come in, order, eat soba, get out. So people just waiting behind you,
And
So-
what would just an idea, like what would the cost be for that one plate?
When I was there, because I wake up, then I have to take a 45 minutes train to Tokyo, and work at the restaurant, right? So I have a very short time to make a meal, morning meal. So I always stop the tachigui soba. I just eat in 5 minutes and get on the train, go to Tokyo, work, come home like midnight, right? So that's very short time to eat.
Short time. How much would a plate cost?
Oh, rate cost was 100 yen.
And what's 100 yen? And
At that time, like probably 360 yen to dollar. So like 40 cents.
you got to do a lot of covers to make a living. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, nowadays I just stopped. Last time I was in my hometown, Tachigui Soba place. That was 350 yen, probably like a $3.50.
That's still nothing.
Yeah, in Japan, everybody think it's really expensive country, but if you like to eat cheap way, you can do it. So many choices.
Food there is incredible. We should go to Japan.
Yeah, we should
Tatiana
go.
and I have been talking about going, and I really want to go. I've been now three times. No,
She
twice.
never went?
She's not been yet. So the next trip we should all.
Hey, Olympic.
That is actually the discussion. Olympics. The Olympics is going to be interesting.
I wonder somebody gonna hire me to cook for American team in Tokyo.
Did the U.S. Olympic Committee hear that? I think Hiro is volunteering to cook for the U.S. athletes at the Olympics in Tokyo. And
They come with a free translation.
And he will translate for the athletes when they go out to eat at night, as long as they buy him dinner. So, Olympic Committee, I know you're listening. So make sure you reach out. I can put you in contact with Hiro, no problem. But I get to come too.
Win-win situation.
So, I want to say thank you very much for taking time out
Thank
of your day.
you. That was so much fun.
It's always a pleasure, and I love getting to hang out with you guys. We don't do it enough. But I'm working on making more time.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have been traveling the globe, so look at that, the big stretch. Yeah, stretching.
Actually, I have to go to Japan tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow morning.
Oh wow. Yeah. So, well, I want to wish you safe travels, and thank you both very much. And we will hang out again soon. Next time, no microphones and no cloud nose.
Okay. Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.